Welcome to the Angling Flaneurs. Today on this wonderful sunny Saturday afternoon in August, we're by the River Deben, very close to Woodbridge, and we're also close to Kyson Point and Marchesham Creek, and we've got the wonderful joy that we will be doing river swimming. We're just setting the scene for the viewer before we go into the water. I've got a few technical issues today. My gimbal is playing up, so when I'm in the water I'm going to be having to hold the camera by hand, so it's going to be a little jerkier than normal, so please bear with me. The aim of these videos is to, the wild swimming videos, this will be the second one, and we're hoping to do a few more while the summer and the warm weather lasts, is to really see the water and see the environment from a swimmer's perspective. I know this might not be to everyone's interest, but those into wild water swimming might appreciate them. It's a sort of equivalent of a swimmer flaneur, if there is such a being, such an entity. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoy this kind of wild water swimming, the swimmer's eyes view of the water. As I said, you have to sometimes put up with some poor picture quality. I think in this one the lens did get covered in water, and of course there's the jerkiness from trying to film in the water with waves and everything. I'm just about to enter the water. It's extremely pleasant. The water temperature is 21 degrees centigrade. It's slightly muddy underfoot. These are the mud flats and salt plains of the River Deben, and there's a few sailors around, other swimmers, and people basically using their paddle boards and canoes. So it's quite a busy place today. But we can get out into the waters and just leave the land and just enjoy the wonderful environment. In our Felixstowe sea swim, we eulogised about Roger Deakins, and for good reason, and that feeling of escapism, that feeling of wildness. And today is no different, though it is quite busy on the water. There is still that feeling that when you leave terra firma, you leave the land, and you go into this aqua environment, that you are in a different space, a different world, and somewhere, as you probably guess, it is somewhat really special, something really special for me. I'm not going to go on too much about how special it is. I think I mentioned that in the last video, and when we do more of these videos I'll just keep repeating myself, which is a crime I'm usually guilty of anyway. But I'll let the pictures hopefully sell themselves, and I might have or a brief interlude occasionally, but there's really nothing I can add to these scenes. Of course, we're back in the land of the detectives, one of my favourite TV programmes, The World of Andy and Lance. In my first video that came out early November last year, I think I went on enough about that programme then, but of course we're very close to Sutton Hoo as well. If you just look over the water at the other side, you'll be within half a mile of Sutton Hoo, and I think I went on enough about that in the earlier video. But it is something when I'm in these waters, you know, I do think of programs like that. Also, you know, I can picture Guthrum, King of the Vikings, maybe sailing up this river in a Viking longship, or King Rathrold of the Angles and the Saxons, maybe a couple of centuries earlier, sailing up this river. It's sometimes an image that comes to mind when you're in these waters. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon now, and before the water level was right, I did manage to spend 2 or 3 hours walking around Woodbridge and filming, so that video will be later out this week. And also, you mustn't forget the Romans. We've talked about the East Angles, the Anglo-Saxons, and we've talked about the Vikings, but of course the Romans may have sailed up this river as well, so it's wonderful to think about the history of this river and who may have sailed it in the past 2 millennia. Luckily for me, my wife is with me today, so she'll make sure that I don't do anything too stupid, like swimming back to the river mouth at Felixstowe Ferry, or trying to swim over to the other side of the River Deben and try and make my way up to Sutton Hoo. So I'm on best behaviour today. Also, I might add that wild water swimming can be extremely dangerous. There's the obvious problems of tides and currents, and whether you are a good enough swimmer really for wild water swimming. So please be extremely careful when you are wild water swimming. Make sure that you're prepared and you do have someone on the shoreline should you get into difficulties. That's it from me. I'm coming to the end of the swim. I would like to spend a few more hours out here, but that's not really fair on my wife. And I'm going home now to watch the Commonwealth Games. It's been a wonderful time in the water here. I've really enjoyed it, as always, and I hope you've enjoyed it as well. And just a swimmer's eye view of the water with all that comes with it. So thank you. I hope to see you soon.